welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to Josafa.
Listen, don't even mind me. This is I'll just alright.
New to my channel, welcome to He Lives in Me channel. My name is Debora. Definitely comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell, and welcome to the family. Welcome. I know you guys see these two men here with me. I have my spiritual brothers who decided to join me into this conversation. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and let's go.
My name is Benjamin.
Whoop whoop. Sorry.
Okay, my name is Josafa.
Yes. Okay. And they are brothers. Welcome Ben. Welcome
Thank
Josafa.
you.
So today, guys, we're gonna be speaking about church musicians. And the reason why I wanted to really do this video was on my heart to do for a while, but I really wanted to do it by myself. But that's not what God wants, so I'm obeying His word. We are really responsible as Christians. Ben, you swear.
Yeah, you came.
You want me to look at the wall?
No, it's fine. I feel like it's really important us as Christians that we have a role that we play in, where if we see something that's wrong, that's going, it's our job to like speak on it. So, oh yeah, I didn't mention they are musicians. Okay, this is 2 out of.
That's 5. Yeah.
Yes, 2 out of 5 of them. Right?
That you guys are familiar with.
Yes. So they are musicians. Ben plays the keys. Do you play anything else?
My first instrument was the drums.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I still have that talent,
Okay.
but I currently play the keys.
Okay, and Josafa plays
The bass.
the bass.
And likewise.
Yeah. Oh, you used to play the drums too?
Actually, we all started.
Oh,
on the drums.
that's dope.
And
Wow, I
then we
didn't know
all
that.
just
Yeah.
branched out.
And so like, oh, okay.
And then we just said, nah, the last one had to stay. Because we needed a drummer. We said, nah, it was meant to be. We didn't tell him that. But yeah, it just happened.
Shout out to Kearney. The first thing I want to talk about is like, why are musicians not spiritual? Why do leaders tend to preach on, oh, the musicians, whenever they come to church, they don't sit and listen to the message, they go in the back or they go outside?
There's 2 things you said. One of them is preachers, preaching and kind of downplaying the musicians. And which
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a second. But the reason why a lot of musicians aren't spiritual now, simply put, is lack of fear of the Lord. And just to be more specific, when you fear God, you're not just fearing Him because He's God, but you're also looking at it in a relationship level. You're going to church and you're playing music, but who are you playing the music for?
Hello?
So a lot of times the reason why these musicians aren't spiritual is because they're more than likely focusing on themselves or whomever's looking at them. And I feel like that's a problem.
They're not being taught what it is that they're doing. Like their level of understanding is not there. And I don't think there's ever really been a sit down with themselves and leaders to further explain to them how important the position is.
Right. And Ben said something too, where a lot of the times the leaders tend to kind of like talk down on them.
Yes.
And I feel like leaders, it goes both ways. I think, yes, the musicians do have to have that their own personal relationship at home, but I think it's also important for leaders to kind of, they have to do better in encouraging the musicians, like, hey, there's Bible study, I want to see you there. Or hey, we have prayer service, I want to see you there. Like, I don't want to only have you playing on Sundays. So I feel like leaders aren't
I got something to say. I'm you finish.
but yes, I feel like leaders aren't really making it seem as if what they're doing is important. You know what I mean? So
the standard was never set. So
yes,
the standard that's there,
that's true.
they don't know of. So again, if you're going back to the leaders, what the leaders tend to do is they're content with where they're at. They have great musicians.
And that's it.
And that's it. So they're not really putting them up to that godly standard to where it's required and mandated for them to have that relationship, because because what they're essentially doing is leading the people. So it's kind of like you're looking at somebody who's leading praise and worship. Literally, you're doing the same thing with your instruments, literally. So if you're not conscious of that, that's why many times you have services, it could be great musicians who knows how to play, but you feel it's nothing. Like you're in service and you're like, yo, that joint is just dry.
It's sad. You know, I feel like, you know, things ought to be different in that regard. Obviously, a lot of these musicians are young. When you're young, you're more vulnerable to a lot of things. So now when you have leaders saying these kind of things to these musicians, then it kind of leads to discouragement. And it leads to something else, but I'm gonna stop right there.
I'm gonna touch on that too. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you feel like it's important that if a new musician attends a church, do you think it's important for the leader to go and speak to their past leader before putting them in the, you know, to come and play? Do you feel like it's important?
As personally, I see like, and I'm experienced that, okay, so if somebody comes to the church, it is important for there to be kind of like a background, like to find out, okay, where the person's coming from, and okay, you came from a certain church, okay, you've come from there, which means something had to happen for you to be here.
Exactly.
And if you are here, why are you here? That's just a question nobody want to ask. Come to my church or whatever, I would love that. However, we be dead serious. We're like, yo, no funny? It's cool that you're here.
Where you coming from? Like,
Well,
why are you here?
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
I don't want you here unless God put you here. That's just simple as that.
And the reason why I feel like it's important to do that is because, for example, you see a new musician, he's probably really good, and he comes to the church, but he probably left his church, did what he did with 2 other females in the church, caused them to have an abortion. Now the church is separated.
You know something?
No. Listen, I don't know nothing. I'm telling you, I'll be my own bubble.
Sip your tea.
I feel like it's very important to really speak to like their past leaders and be like, hey, like I just want to know, like brother Michael, I don't know Michael, whatever, but brother Michael, you know, I hear that he came from your church. I wanted to know, like, you know, how is he? Is he baptized, or how was he in the church? Just to have some background, like Josapha said, just to have some background of who you are. You know what I mean? Because you don't know who you're dealing with. So it's like, I don't know your personal life. And so I need to know, like, who was teaching you? Like, what teaching were you receiving from your past church? I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I do. What a lot of people fail to realize also, leaders are dealing with leaders. Now, what people fail to realize is that musicians are leaders also. So now, for them to have to ask these questions is extremely important, because if they don't want people in the leadership circle to be lackluster in the sense where, okay, they lack spirituality, they lack leadership skills in leading people to Christ, you know. Now, as a musician, these are questions that pastors, evangelists, elders of the church are going to ask you, because they want to make sure that when you're playing in the church, you're not just playing, but you're leading people into the worship. That's the goal of a musician. So
hello, the goal.
That's the goal. And so them asking you these questions, you know, don't be alarmed or don't be offended that they're asking you that.
But I don't want people to just understand that it's just a skill thing, because it's not just a skill thing.
Right.
Because I know people who trash, like they're not the best, right? But God showed grace. However, even though God showed grace, it's still your duty as a musician to practice, to do what you got to do, because God showed grace because He knows what He wants. Okay, so it's not for you to take that for granted. You're like, oh snap, God showed me, God allowed this to happen. Great. So now it's my job to please Him by seeing how I can better myself, just so it's more fluent, it's more easy for things to flow.
And that's the beautiful thing, like, because I personally love when they play. Like, they're my favorite musicians, honestly. Not just saying that. I'm really not just saying that, but I always speak highly of you guys, because I honestly experienced them playing, and it's like, it's completely different. But it's a beautiful thing when you're not playing for people, but when you literally have your own relationship with God, where you're actually praying, you're actually in Bible study, it's different. Like there's a shift in the atmosphere completely. So I've even been in other churches where there are some dope musicians, like they're really good, but it's like I don't feel the presence of God. I don't feel like raising my hand, or I don't feel like, because it's like something is different. I feel like it's a show. But I want to ask you guys a question, because I know this is something that a lot of musicians struggle with. Let me drink my finger.
Hey, go ahead. I'll drink my water.
Facts. I didn't know the question, but I'm know the question, but I'm know the question, but I'm
Oh, you good.
I'm bad.
Okay.
You wearing, bro?
But
Anyway.
you good, man? You
If you see
good?
something glistening in my nose, it ain't boogers. It's the water. This guy just tapped me, and I just.
The question I'm gonna ask is, I know this is something that a lot of musicians struggle with, and I want you guys to kind of give advice on that, is women. So I know that I don't want to say this, but I know like musicians tend to be like the popular group in the church, which it shouldn't be like that.
I said it like that.
We're so popular, dude.
Which it
Yeah,
shouldn't.
bro.
It shouldn't be like that, but whatever. But you know, and I know like, you know, temptation, you know, women in different churches that you go to. So I want, if you guys feel comfortable, whatever, share your whatever.
No, you know what?
Whatever you wanna.
This is but this is very important.
Yeah.
And this is where
I think, because this is like one of the biggest distractions is, you know.
we're musicians. There's been some situations where I'm not even gonna front. There's been some temptations. There's also been, you know, women coming at us, really like all lovey-dovey or like touchy-touchy.
Mm.
Or is this us like, she look bad, I'm gonna go hide eye. I'm gonna touch that. I'm gonna hide eye. But don't let you knowing how to play music gas you up. It's not even about you. Remember, you're doing it in the church. You understand, you know, it's kind of hard. You know, these women are beautiful. It ain't worth it, man.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
I'm just keeping it a book. It is hard. Personal experience. So what I tend to do is simply close my eyes.
Like literally, like close your
I
eyes.
literally close my eyes, because many times you don't realize how while you're worshiping, you're distancing yourself from God. How? Your thoughts, your eyeballs. Sometimes you look good, you know you look good. So close your eyes, because other people think the same. Simply put, I close my eyes because many times I realize while I'm playing, I probably see somebody like, oh, shoot. Then I just straight look down, or I'm just like, but you can't close your eyes all the time because you have an MD, music director. So you're usually focusing on whoever's the music director, and sometimes they might shout out or let you know where to go progression-wise, or what to do when you're playing. So you have to kind of be attentive. And many times too, you have worship leaders, they're not the best at keeping the tempo or the beat. So you have to kind of pay attention to them as well. So you got to be on point. It's a lot going on that people don't know about, right? So what's added on is the attention, right? What's added on is the people watching. So you kind of have to, and you're already in the front. There's some churches, they seclude musicians in the corner or whatever. But many times you're in the front. You're in the front, okay? So you're seeing who's walking in. You're seeing who's bad, who's not. Many times things catch your eye. Probably girls is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Probably they see the badumps. You know what I'm saying? They see a lot shaking.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Top and bottom. Okay, boom. So let me tell you one experience I had. I went to a church, was playing. While I was playing, all I did was a simple turn. I saw eternal darkness. Like I saw right in the girl's skirt.
Wow.
Eternal darkness.
So why I say eternal darkness? Because
Eternal darkness.
you know what I'm saying, obviously, you know what I'm saying,
We
but I did a simple turn and I said, And I realized, nope. So what I did then was straight shift my whole body. So even if I were to turn my head, my eyeballs cannot look in that direction again. So sometimes you have to physically do something just to remain focused. It's kind of like, who was it? Anybody who ran? Joseph. My dude physically ran butt naked.
Like Potiphar's wife was like,
because he knew what, number one, he knew what he could do. Okay,
he got that.
He got that.
But he didn't have that.
But he respected God enough to dip, even if he was butt naked. Because you know, many times you're like, I didn't put my underwear.
Which in case he was, because he left and Potiphar's wife had a piece of his garment.
Right.
So
sometimes it does take that physical action. Okay. Obviously, you gotta be prayed up. You come to do a job, say that very loosely. Okay, it's not a job, though it is a job. It's your duty. Okay, it's your calling. It's, you know, you're on post. You're going on post. So this is what you're coming to do. Okay, you're leading the people, focused on what God intends to do through you. Right. So the enemy works, and he knows what you like. He knows what you don't like.
Hello?
And best believe what you like will definitely pull up, either in the church, via text, I'm saying, or whatever. All it takes is a little bit. That's all it takes. And then you'll be like, oh shoot. But then you just gotta get back to yourself. So like, look at, again, so physically, turning your body or closing your eyes and do whatever you gotta do. Many times too, here's another thing, I start praying while I'm playing. So I pray in my heart, I'm legit like I'm praying, because I don't want what just happened, my thinking, whatever, to affect service, what's going on in the service.
Yeah.
there was an instant, there was an example I could give when it was years back. I remember me and my brothers, we went out to go minister. And now we arrived to said location, and so I set up my keyboard. You know, everything was set, and I just started playing. You know, service didn't start yet, so I just started playing. People are sitting down, I guess waiting for the service to start. Now as I'm playing, I have like someone who I'm close with. She comes and she whispers in my ear like, "You have an admirer." I'm like,
You have an admirer, they can hear.
"You have an admirer." I'm asking like who? Like, to your right. So as I'm playing, now all I just see to my right is this girl like, and you know when you catch someone in the moment, they just end up looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, so as I'm playing and I caught her like this, like she was like, and then she just like, you know what I mean? Like just an example. And it wasn't like, oh, what he's doing is hot. No, it was more so like, oof.
If he could do that, if he could do that with the keys,
And I got a hat.
I got a hot eye. Okay. If you get down with the keys, who knows? You feel?
Gosh.
But that's a good. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Listen, you say
We're being transparent here.
Yeah.
We've been through the experience.
yeah. What?
You know, and I would say by God's grace, we didn't fall or have we slept with any woman.
Oh,
I
thank
can
God.
speak for me
Wow.
personally.
Yeah, I'm speaking for myself as well.
You know,
Yeah.
though we had that gift of music, we didn't use that as means to go and sleep with a woman, knowing that we have that advantage. I'm saying there's a lot of musicians that go through that temptation. Sometimes it's not even our fault. It's whoever.
What do you mean it's not your fault?
What do I mean is this: there's women in the church now. There's women in the church who dress a certain way for them to end up
okay, like that. That makes
seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Who would purposely dress a certain way and purposely walk back and forth just to grab the attention of the musicians. If you keep staring, if you don't close your eyes, if you don't pray, you're gonna mess up.
You're gonna mess up.
You're gonna mess up.
You're gonna get got.
You're gonna mess up spiritually. You're gonna mess up while you're playing.
I think it's very important that it also requires self-discipline / self-control.
There it is.
So it's like, it's hard. You know, even for women too, like even some women when we're leading, you know, or it's hard for everybody, but it's something that we go through, and you just have to really, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You really have to pray, and that's why the whole point of this video is for us to shine light on the importance of understanding ministry. It's not something that's easy, but it's something that we definitely have to pray on it. And even though you're good at it, doesn't mean that God called you to do it.
Some guys really like it though. I ain't gonna front.
Some guys like it.
What? Not just attention, but what they see on a constantly. They're like, yo, nah, this is dope. Girls like it too. You feel me?
Like
when I
what?
say that, okay,
That attention.
that attention that the musicians give.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it goes
Not
both
all.
ways.
But yeah.
Not all.
Sorry.
But again, look, that's why you have musicians who aren't mature spiritually, and their purpose for being here isn't the same as everybody else. So they're playing to get the attention of people. So they did come to do what they intended to do. So they're fulfilling exactly
What they
came, what they had to do. So they're happy. That's why they're content. They're like, yo, I got Shorty's number. I got a date with this one. I'm about to go play somewhere else. I got a bad Shorty. Bad. You know what I'm saying? But they understand that's just the life though. So now as those, that's why we understand that, as well as many others, because we are just a few of the bunch. There's a lot of people who's unknown, I should say. Not to say that we're known, but just like, you know, there's people who's making an effort. I just say all that to say that our musicians who's making an effort. But it's meant for us to uphold that standard and to keep it and to show, I guess, not just the generations that's after us, but to be frank, even some generations before us who's still playing and still doing the same nonsense, just to show them what the difference is. Because there were times where we could have been extremely embarrassed, and we just relied on God's grace and God's anointing, so that to where there was a clear difference. And there's many stories on that. So I just wanted to put that out.
So definitely, guys, I, as your sister in Christ, I don't want God's wrath to fall upon you. So I hope you guys really learned something from this video. I thank you guys so much, Josapha and Ben, for joining me. And hopefully, if you guys want to see more of them, if you guys want to see the whole team, I don't know, definitely like this video. But I don't know if you guys have any final words or anything. Oh yeah, you guys have an album.
Oh, shit. We have an
EP. Sorry.
Oh,
We do have an EP.
we have an EP.
We have work coming. There's things
Yes.
that's coming out.
I love their music, guys.
Yeah, there's things that's coming out.
And just stay tuned.
Woo!
I can't give you a date, but
I'm excited.
TBA.
TBA.
One Sound Productions. One Sound Productions.
On SoundCloud, YouTube.
On SoundCloud.
SoundCloud is One Sound.
One Sound.
I believe it's One Sound.
Yeah.
Or if you don't see One Sound on
I'll
SoundCloud,
put it
just
right here,
type in
y'all.
One Sound Productions.
Sound Productions.
Okay.
And you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, One Sound.
Dope. Woo! I'm excited. I can't wait. Okay.
To God be the glory.
Yes. I might put a little, one of their songs in this next clip.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I gotta support my brothers, man. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. They came from.
Cheddar.
Okay.
Saying?
Okay.
Got you.
No.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. But I thank you guys so much for coming here. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. But thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, because you didn't have to, but you did, and I appreciate you. I really do. And of course, I thank God for allowing you guys to watch this video, because today was not promised, but it was all given by God. And I thank God for that. And I hope you guys have a good morning, a good evening, good afternoon, good night. Whenever time you're watching this video, have a blessed day. May God bless you. And until next time, you got know my ending?
That's it.
What?